Hey guys, today I'm going to give my review on Iron Man 3, which is a 2013 film, which is 10 years ago. 10 years ago this film came out, and this film was directed by Shane Black. And if you guys are wondering why am I doing a voiceover and not my actual face recording, I was planning to do a face recording, but I decided to do my voiceover because I was really tired, having no chance to get this review up really quickly. And of course, I will be seeing The Little Mermaid on today if we're time recording this when it's up. But so, and I'll give my review on that at some point this weekend if I can. So here's my thoughts on Iron Man 3. So basically the story follows set after the events of the first Avengers film after the Battle of New York, which is I think it takes place 6 or 7 months after this, but again I can't really recall. But yeah, it takes place a couple of months after the events of Iron Man, the first Avengers movie. And you see Tony Stark is suffering from a post-traumatic stress disorder, and of course he has an obsession creating these Iron Man suits. And of course it's not till these Mandarin, who's created this extremist like a terrorist attack, and of course it's up to Tony Stark to stop the Mandarin before his evil deeds. But it's not till his past has caught with him. Okay, Iron Man 3. When this film came out, it was very, very divisive, to say the least. Let's just say it now, it's a very divisive movie. When the first one came out, I remember being excited. I think most fans are excited for it, but it's not till the twist happens, which we'll get to soon enough. But this film, on rewatch, after post Endgame, after post Infinity Saga, since we now are in the multiverse saga, I will say Iron Man 3 is very underrated and very underappreciated, and I think it's a lot better movie than you once remembered. Despite the twist, whatever you guys think of it, I think it's a much better movie. But that being said, let's get into the positives. I will say Robert Downey Jr. is probably his best acting role I have ever seen him in. I think this is probably his best performance as the character, and I really liked him. And his performance is so good here. He's definitely played the character so straightforward, and I really liked it. And his arc in here is probably one of the best character study, or probably one of the best character arc we've given him during his Infinity Saga. Definitely the post Endgame, it definitely felt more better and more what's the word I'm looking for? But but probably the best written character we've seen him in. Him using his mind and his smartness and not running his technology, which I quite liked, which is really good. Gwyneth Paltrow's Pepper Potts, even though she's not in the movie that much, we don't get enough of her. And of course, what he does in the end is actually quite cool and quite creative. Don Cheadle as James Earl's War Machine, or now as Iron Patriot, which even though I prefer War Machine, to be fully honest. He's really good. He definitely got a lot more to do this time round, because Iron Man 2, he's somewhat treated Tony as a bad person, but this time he's a bit more supportive this time round. And I do like the Iron Patriot suit, which I really liked. I thought that was pretty damn awesome, which I really liked. And of course, we do have Guy Pearce as the villain, Aldrich Killian. More on that later. He was really good. And of course, we have Ben Kingsley as the Mandarin, which, again, I'll get to that later. But his performance, though, is good. And as far as the story goes, I think the story is actually not too bad. It is more of a focus compared to Iron Man 2. It still has a few problems. There are some couple of things they didn't cover up, especially at the end with Tony Stark removing his arc reactor, which I feel that's a bit rushed in a certain degree. Of course, we do have Rebecca Hall in the film. Of course, you have Jon Favreau as returning as Happy Hogan, which apparently he's got some fewer stuff to do. He does have more stuff of his own, but he's not in the movie that much. But it's good to see him in the MCU, so he still has good terms with Marvel, despite what happened to Iron Man 2 with him putting mandates on him. But they're still a good working relationship. But again, if someone there that no one likes Marvel, or someone has some, or whatever happens. But again, let's say that for another time. Anyway, welcome back to Iron Man 3. But as far as the action goes, the action is pretty entertaining. There are some couple of nice action shots, and some of the scenes are really cool. Especially with the Malibu mansion getting destroyed by the helicopters, and Iron Man has to use throwing missiles at them, using his pulsars as well, which is I really liked. And the airplane scene where Iron Man has to rescue all these hosts and passengers in the plane, which I thought that was probably the most beautiful work of art I've ever seen in terms of action movies, which is used practical but yet CGI on it, which I would say that is probably the biggest thumbs up I've ever seen for a movie, which is well done to them. I don't know how they've done it, that was really well done. As far as the twist, which I feel we'll get to the twist now, because Ben Kingsley plays the Mandarin, and yeah, he's great. I do like he's got a real life version of Bin Laden, which I thought that was really cool. But as far as we get to the twist, they call himself Trevor Slattery, and of course we all know in Shang-Chi we got the real Mandarin, which yeah, thankfully for Shang-Chi, I'll give it that for sure. But as far as the twist, I remember back when it first came out, and I remember seeing it just, I think it's a week or 2 weeks after its release, and of course, and I started hearing all these rumblings about the twist doesn't work for the fans, and I was like, oh, okay, well, let's see what it's about, and then I saw the twist, and I was shockingly laughing at it, like a big shock in my mouth, but at the same time I was like, wait, is that the twist? Oh man. And it of course turns out to be Aldrich Killian is the real villain, which I had a feeling he would be the big villain, not the Mandarin, but of course at the end he did reveal himself, I am the Mandarin, which no you're not. Thankfully Shang-Chi came along and retconned that, so of course if you've seen All Hail the King short on your Thor Dark World Blu-ray or Disney Plus, yeah, it's pretty much the real Mandarin exists, so thanks for that, and even Shang-Chi. Let's just say that for now. Oh yeah, almost forgot. Tiki Sumptins, who plays Harley, the young kid who Tony Stark meets. He's such a light of delight. He does help out Tony, and especially he's being a little mechanic, or he's the mechanic mostly, but he's really cool. The kid's smart. I really liked him. And of course, he did appear at the end of Avengers Endgame. He's at Tony Stark's funeral, which I thought that was a nice touch. And of course, it makes the Iron Man 3 a little bit more appreciation over time. As far as Aldrich Killian, played by Guy Pearce, he's fine. He did a good job for what he's given, but there's not much to him. There is a motivation there, but he wasn't fully developed. Even though he was a Tony Stark fanboy, which we've all seen done before, like The Incredibles, Batman Forever, and of course The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and I'm sure there's other ones I can think of, that fanboy turned bad guy, which we've seen it before. It's Incredibles, it worked. Batman Forever was fine, and of course The Amazing Spider-Man 2, yeah, that movie for the better. We'll say that for another time. But as far as the story goes with him, he's fine. The final fight between him and Iron Man is pretty enjoyable, but most of it is really cool. And of course, he created the Extremis, which is a big explosive, like a bomb situation, which I thought that was pretty cool for the most part. And of course, Pepper Potts got the Extremis, and of course, killed Aldrich Killian, which I will admit that was pretty entertaining. As far as the ending goes, it was very, very, like I said, it was very, very rushed. It just quickly get to removing the Tony Stark's art reactor, and of course they got the Extremis moves from Pepper, which glad they said that, but it never say how they do it or how they got rid of it. And of course the art reactor says that Tony Stark will die without it, which I'll say that was a bit kind of lazy, but at the same time it kind of felt like just removed it. But I do like the monologue at the end, because since Tony Stark narrating the story where he says, you can take away all my suits, you can take away my tricks and toys, but there's one thing you can't take away, I am Iron Man, which I thought that fits perfectly really well, which I really, really liked. And of course, by the end of the post-credits scene, we have him talking to Bruce Banner, telling his post-traumatic disorder, and of course, Bruce is falling asleep because he's not paying attention to the story, which, come on, he's a scientist, he's not a physios doctor or therapist. Overall, Iron Man 3, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's one of the better MCU films. I think it's mid-tier or somewhere below, still in the below average movies, but I think Iron Man 3 over time, it's underrated and very underappreciated. And guys, comment down below, what do you think of Iron Man 3? Do you love it, do you like it, or do you think it's alright, or do you hate it? Whatever the case is, comment down below. And of course, be civil about how you feel about the twist over time. And do you think Iron Man 3 is underrated? And whatever the case is, comment down below. Until next time, guys, see ya!